Okay, good morning everyone. We are in the middle of sixth unit number six. So in the previous class, we have seen what is meant by the state feedback controller. That means the design procedure regarding the state feedback controller. And in order to design this particular feedback controller, the basic concept has to be noted is the determination of state feedback gain matrix. Determination of state feedback gain matrix. We have discussed the three different methods for calculation of this gain matrix in the previous class, and after that we have looked into the problems. In the previous class we have discussed some part of the problem. Once again, in this class, I am once again recollecting all the concepts regarding to this calculation part of state feedback controller, that is gain matrix, and after that we will enter into the next topic. Okay. So before entering into the method of calculation of feedback matrix, we have to check the controllability for this matrix. We have to check the controllability for this matrix. After that, after the checking of the controllability, we have to we have to calculate calculate the characteristic equation with the given closed loop force. We have to calculate the characteristic equation with the closed loop poles which he has given in the statement of the problem. And after that, we have to enter into the methods. Okay. So this is the statement of the problem which he has given. X dot is equal to ax plus bu. In order to check the controllability, in order to check the controllability, matrix A and matrix B is necessary. Only matrix A and matrix B is sufficient for us. Okay. So apart from the matrices, it has given the closed loop poles as -1 plus or minus J2 and -6. That means three different poles are there. One is -1 plus J2, and next one is -1 minus J2 and -6. These are the three different poles he has given. And for calculating or for checking out the controllability, we have to frame a new matrix that is nothing but the controllable matrix, which is consisting of the matrices. Let us suppose QC is the controllable matrix. In that one, the elements are to be placed as B, AB, A square. Why? Because the order of the matrix is 3 by 3. That means A power n minus 1 into B. Therefore, A power 3 minus 1 into B. That is A square into B. Okay. After determination of the controllability matrix, this is the matrix. We have to calculate the determinant of this particular matrix. Determinant of this particular matrix. If the determinant of that particular matrix is not equal to 0, then one can say this particular matrix is a controllable. This particular matrix is a controllable. Therefore, therefore, the determinant of this particular controllable matrix is not equal to 0. Therefore, we can say this system is a state controllable. This system is a controllable system. And after calculation or determining the controllability of this particular system, we have to calculate the inverse of this particular controllable matrix. So for calculating the inverse of this particular matrix, we are having the formula that is cofactor of matrix transpose divided by determinant of the matrix. So after that, we have also determined the inverse of the matrix, that is controllable matrix. And next, we have calculated the desired characteristic equation. Desired characteristic equation with the poles he has given. And the poles which we have are mu1 is equal to -1 plus j2, mu2 is equal to -1 minus j2, and mu3 is equal to -6. These are the three different poles. With these three different poles, we have to frame the desired characteristic equation. Therefore, the characteristic equation is simply written as lambda minus mu1 into lambda minus mu2 into lambda minus mu3. Therefore, it is going to yield a characteristic equation, that is lambda cube plus 8 lambda square plus 17 lambda plus 30. This is the desired characteristic equation which we have obtained with the given closed loop rules. Okay, you have to calculate up to this part, and after you have to enter into the three methods which are used for calculation or determination of the gain matrix. Okay, now we are going into the first method for determination of this particular feedback matrix. Okay, as per the steps which he has given in the methods, we are going in the same form. So the first step has to be calculated is the characteristic equation with the formula we are having, that is lambda I minus a. Lambda I minus a. Therefore, lambda into I is nothing but the identity matrix minus a. This is the matrix A. Okay, so with this particular one, we have to frame the characteristic equation, that is modulus of lambda I minus a should be equal to 0. Modulus of lambda I minus a should be equal to 0. Therefore, we have framed the characteristic equation with the formula, that is modulus of lambda I minus a, that is lambda cube plus 8 lambda square plus 17 lambda plus 30 is equal to 0. This is the characteristic equation which are obtained. That means this is this is the characteristic equation which we have obtained with the formula, that is lambda I minus a, that is lambda cube plus 6 lambda square plus 11 lambda plus 6 is equal to 0. Plus 6 is equal to 0. And this is the characteristic equation which we have obtained with the given closed loop poles. And this is the characteristic equation obtained with the modulus of lambda I minus a is equal to 0. And this is the characteristic equation which we have obtained with the closed loop poles which we have given in the statement of the problem. And this is the inverse of the controllability matrix which we have calculated previously. And the next step in this first method is determination of this particular matrix P1. P1 is equal to 0, 0, 0 up to last element should be 1. Last element should be 1. But here only 3 by 3 matrix is given. Therefore, P1 is going to be calculated as 0, 0, 1 into inverse matrix. 0, 0, 1 into inverse matrix. Therefore, 0, 0, 1 into inverse matrix, we are going to get a 1 by 3 matrix, that is minus 0.0194, 0.1944, minus 0.0888. And after that, we have to calculate P1 into A. P1 into A. That means we have to determine this particular PC matrix. PC matrix is nothing but P1, P1A, P1A square. P1, P1A and P1A square. Therefore, in order to frame this particular PC matrix, P1 matrix has been calculated, and P1 into A means this particular matrix has to be multiplied with P1A. So we have obtained a 1 by 3 matrix, that is 0.0472 minus 0.4721 and 0.2499. And P1 into A square is P1 matrix into A square matrix. After that one also we have obtained 1 by 3 matrix. So all these values are going to be framed in a particular column matrix. So the PC matrix is obtained like this. PC matrix is obtained like this. Therefore, finally, the feedback gain matrix is going to be obtained with a basic equation which we are having is k is equal to lambda 3 minus a3, lambda 2 sorry alpha 3 minus a3, alpha 2 minus a2, alpha 1 minus a1 into bc. Whereas alpha 1 is nothing but the coefficients of the characteristic equation, coefficients of the characteristic equation which is framed from the closed loop course. Alpha values. So once again I am telling this is the characteristic equation obtained with lambda I minus a, and this is the characteristic equation which is obtained with given closed loop course. Given closed loop course. The coefficient values of this particular matrix are alphas, and the coefficients of this particular matrix are a. A. That means this is this is alpha 1 is 1, alpha 2 AI, alpha 3 is 17, sorry, alpha naught, alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. This one is A naught, A1, A2 and A3. These are the values of coefficients of A, and these are the values of the coefficients of alpha. So therefore, the gain matrix is going to be obtained with alpha 3 minus A3. Alpha 3 matrix is 30 minus 6, and this one is 17, and this one is 11, and this one is 8, and this one is 6. Okay, so just substituting the particular values, we are going to get k is equal to 30 minus 6, 17 minus 11, 8 minus 6 into PC. This is the PC matrix which we have calculated in the previous step. So just multiplying this 1 by 3 matrix with 3 by 3 matrix, we are going to get a 1 by 3 matrix that is minus 0.22, 4.22 and minus 2. So these are the values of the state feedback gain matrix K. State feedback gain matrix capital K. Okay, so this is the calculation part regarding to the first method which we have discussed. And the second method is so these are the polynomials. Depending upon the order of the characters, depending upon the order of the matrix A, we can judge how many elements are going to be there in matrix K. The order of the matrix A is 3 by 3. Therefore, 3 particular elements should be there in matrix capital K. Therefore, matrix capital K consisting of K1, K2 and K3. Okay. In case of the second method, the first step is we have to determine the characteristic equation. We have to determine the characteristic equation with the basic function that is lambda I minus a plus bk is equal to 0. That is modulus of lambda I minus a plus bk is equal to 0. So just substituted the values. This is lambda, this is I matrix minus a plus b into k. So after substituting the values and calculating the modulus of this one, so this is the matrix which is obtained lambda I minus a plus bk. So just calculating the matrix, just calculating the modulus of this particular matrix, we are going to get the combined equation in terms of the lambda as lambda cube plus 6 plus 10 k1 plus k2 into lambda square plus 11 into 50 k1 plus 14 k2 plus 21 k3 into lambda plus 6 plus 60k plus 33 k2 plus 51 k3 is equal to 0. So this is the characteristic equation which we have obtained with the basic equation, that is lambda I minus a plus bk is equal to 0. And this is the characteristic equation which we have obtained with the closed loop poles which we have given in the statement of the problem. Okay, so we have to compare this particular equation with this equation. That means the coefficient of this particular values are going to be compared. That means lambda 3 and lambda 3 are going to be verified. Both the coefficients are equal. Therefore, there is no need to compare. And coming for the lambda square, while comparing these particular values, 6 plus 10 k1 plus k2 is equal to 8. 6 plus 10k plus k2 is equal to 8. That means comparing the lambda to coefficients, lambda square coefficients, we are going to get a basic equation that is 10 k1 plus k2 is equal to 2. 10 k1 plus k2 is equal to 2. Therefore, this is the one equation which we have obtained with the comparison of the lambda square terms. And the second one is comparing the lambda power 1 terms. We are going to get the another equation that is 11 plus 50 k1 plus 14 k2 plus 21 k3 is equal to 17. From that we have framed another equation that is 50 k1 plus 14 k2 plus 21 k3 is equal to 6. And after that we have to compare the lambda power 0 terms of the basic characteristic equation. So we are going to get 6 plus 60 k1 plus 32 k2 plus 51 k3 is equal to 30. Therefore, we are going to get another equation that is 60 k1 plus 33 k2 plus 51 k3 is equal to 24. So these are the three equations which we have obtained, and we have to solve these three equations in order to get the values of k1, k2 and k2. K1, K2 and K3. You can use any kind of method for calculation of K1, K2 and K3. Here in this particular textbook, he has used a formula or a method called as Cramer's rule. Cramer's rule. This particular Cramer's rule is very well known to you. Why? Because this particular method is used in your mathematics. It is your mathematics. So, using the Cramer's rule, we can obtain the values of K1, K2 and K3. You can use any method. No need to choose this particular method. But you have to get the values of K1, K2 and K3. Using the Cramer's rule, we have obtained the values of K1, K2 and K3 as minus 0.22, 4.22 and minus 2. In the previous method also we have obtained the same values. That means why? Because using any kind of method we have to get this particular values. This is the values according to the first methods, and these are the values of the gain matrix which we have obtained in the second method. Okay, and the third method we are having is Ackermann's formula. Third method we are having is Ackermann's formula. Okay, so this particular method is very useful. Why? Because it is also used for the computer calculation also. Computer calculation part. Okay, so for determining the gain matrix in case using this Ackermann's formula, we need to have, that means we have to frame. So this is the Ackermann's formula we are having. That means K is equal to 0, 0, 1 into QC inverse into phi of t. This is the Ackermann's formula which we have to calculate using, which is used for determination of the values of 0, 0, 1. It is a matrix, row matrix. It has to be multiplied with QC inverse. This matrix is available, and QC inverse matrix is also available. And remaining matrix we have to determine is phi of A. So phi of A is nothing but equal to A cube plus alpha 1 into A square plus alpha 2 into A plus alpha 2 into I. a cube plus alpha 1 into a square plus alpha 2 into a and alpha 3 into I. Alpha 3 into I. Where alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 are the values of characteristic equation which we have obtained with the closed loop codes. These are the values, alpha values are the coefficients of the characteristic equation which we have obtained with the closed loop codes. Closed loop codes. Okay? So, yeah, these are the values of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3, 8, 17 and 30. Okay? So, we have to determine this particular phi of A, that is A cube. So, this is the matrix which we have obtained with the multiplication of A into A into A, that is A cube. And this is the matrix which is obtained with the A square. So, simple substitution, this is A cube and alpha 1 into A square plus alpha 2 is 17, that is into A plus 30 into I, identity matrix. So after calculation we have obtained the matrix of phi of A as 20, 0, 0, 0, 20, 0, minus 2, minus 4, 24. And QC inverse is the calculated previously. So just substituting the values in this particular Ackermann's formula we are having, that is 0, 0, 1 QC inverse into phi of A. Okay, just multiplying this particular three matrices, we are going to get the values that is minus 0.22, 4.22 and minus 2. Okay, this is the matrix obtained using Ackermann's formula. So these are the values of the feedback gain matrix, elements which are presented in the feedback gain matrix, that means K1, K2 and K3. Okay, depending upon the order of the matrix capital A, the elements are going to be different. If the order of the matrix A is 3, how many elements are going to be there? 3 elements. If the order of the matrix is 2, the elements are going to be there in 2. Okay, so in this way we are going to determine the state feedback gain matrix. We are having three different methods for determination of this particular feedback gain matrix. Feedback gain matrix. Okay, you can use any kind of method for determination of this particular matrix. The most useful matrix is, the most useful method is Ackermann's formula method. Ackermann's formula method. With the exams, he can ask any kind of method. That means he will ask to determine the state feedback gain matrix using Ackermann's formula and compare that result with another method. He will ask simply this one. Simply this one. So you can use any kind of method for determination of this particular method. The most useful methods are method 2 and method 3. While comparing with the calibration, method 2 and method 3 are very easy. Okay. So these are the very important problems regarding to this one. Okay. After that, we will see how the Ackermann's formula is going to be framed. The next topic is how the Ackermann's formula is going to be framed. That means the necessary and sufficient conditions regarding to the Ackermann's formula. Necessary and sufficient conditions regarding to the Ackermann's formula. And after that, we will look into the number of problems based upon this method. Based upon this. Okay. So the next topic is okay. So the necessary and sufficient conditions regarding to the Ackermann's formula. So without any delay, let us discuss this one. We are very familiar about the nth order single output, single input time invariant system, that is x naught of t is equal to a into x of t plus b into u of t. And the state feedback control law can be taken as u of t is equal to minus k into x of t. U of t is equal to minus k into x of t. That means this particular u of t has to be placed in this equation. U of t has to be substituted in this equation. We are going to get x dot of t is equal to a into x of t plus b into minus k into x of t. Taking x of t as a common value, we are going to get x dot of t is equal to a minus bk into x of t. X dot of t is equal to a minus bk into x of t. Okay, so before entering into the determination of this value, we have to check this particular system is a controllable or not. We have to check whether this particular system is a controllable matrix, controllable system or not. We have to check this particular condition. Okay, so after that, the first method has to be determined is these are the necessary and sufficient conditions regarding to the Ackermann's formula. Okay, so the first one is, step one is, we need to determine the characteristic equation with respect to the matrix A, that is modulus of lambda I minus A. Modulus of lambda I minus A. Therefore, we are going to get the characteristic equation is, resultant value is s power n plus lambda 1 into s power n minus 1 plus so on up to alpha n minus 1 s plus alpha n. We are going to get the resultant determinant of the characteristic equation is s power n plus alpha 1 into s power n minus 1 plus so on into alpha n minus 1 into s plus alpha n. Okay, after that we have to determine the transformation matrix, that is capital P. The transformation matrix capital P. So before determining this particular transformation matrix, we have to make sure about this particular system is controllable or not. Controllable or okay. So this particular matrix capital P is equal to, which is consisting of the elements P1, P1A, P1A square, and so on up to P1 into A power n minus 1, where n is nothing but the order of the matrix capital P. Order of the matrix capital P. Where P1 is nothing but equal to 0, 0, 0 up to so on. The last value should be 1 into U inverse. U inverse is nothing but the controllable matrix that has to be multiple, that has to be taken as the inverse. U is nothing but the controllable matrix. So these are all the steps regarding to the method 1 itself. These are the necessary and sufficient conditions regarding to the Ackermann's formula. Okay, these are the all equations which is corresponding to the first method of determination of the Gale matrix. Okay, so P1 is nothing but a matrix which is consisting of values 0, but the last value should be 1, and it has to be multiplied with the inverse of controllable matrix. Therefore, the controllable matrix consisting of B, AB, A square B, and so on up to A power n minus 1 into B. U is nothing but a controllable matrix which is consisting of the elements B, AB, A square B, and so on up to A power n minus 1 into B. Okay, so P is nothing but a transformation matrix which is consisting of the values P1, P1A, P1A square, and so on up to P1 into A power n minus 1. And the next step has to be calculated is, with the desired closed loop poles which we are having, that is lambda 1, lambda 2, and lambda n, we have to calculate, that is a characteristic equation that has to be determined is s minus lambda 1 into s minus lambda 2, so on up to s minus lambda n is equal to s power n plus a1 into s power n minus 1 plus so on up to a power an minus 1 into s plus an. And the coefficient values which we have obtained with the closed loop poles are a1, a2, a3, an minus 1, an r. Here alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 are the characteristic equation which we have obtained with the characteristic equation, that is s minus si minus. Therefore, the required state feedback gain matrix is obtained with the following equation, that is small k is equal to an minus alpha n, an minus 1 minus alpha n minus 1 and so on up to a1 minus alpha 1 into p, where p is nothing but the transformation matrix which is consisting of p1, p1a, so on up to p1 into a power n minus 1, where p1 is nothing but the matrix which is consisting of all zeros except the last value should be 1, and it has to be multiplied with the inverse of the controllability matrix. Okay, so just substituting this particular equation in this equation, we are going to get k1 is equal to, that is nothing but an minus alpha n minus 1 minus alpha n minus 1 and so on up to a1 minus alpha 1 into a matrix which is consisting of zeros, that is 0 0, so on up to 1 into inverse of controllability 0 0 0 u inverse into a and so on up to u inverse into a power n minus 1. Just substituting these values in this one, in this equation. Okay, so the characteristic equation which we have obtained in the step 1 is s power n plus alpha 1 into s power n minus 1 and so on up to alpha n minus 1 into s plus alpha n. Okay, so this is the characteristic equation which we have obtained in the first one. And this is the characteristic equation which we have obtained from this matrix, that is a power n plus alpha 1 into a power n minus 1 plus alpha 2 into a power n minus 2 plus so on up to alpha n minus 1 into a plus alpha n into I is equal to 3. Just comparing these two equations, we are going to get the value of k is equal to 0 0 0 and so on up to the last value is 1 into inverse of the controllability matrix into phi of a, where phi of a is nothing but a power n plus alpha 1 into a power n minus 1 plus a1 into a power n minus 1 plus a2 into a power n minus 2 plus so on up to a n minus 1 into a plus an into I. And u is nothing but the controllability matrix which is consisting of the elements e, ab and so on up to a power n minus 1 into. Okay, don't get confused about this particular values. This particular matrix is similar to this particular matrix. Up to now you have seen this type of the matrix, that is phi of a is equal to a power n plus alpha 1 into a power n minus 1 plus alpha 2 into a power n minus 2 and so on up to alpha n minus 1 into a n plus alpha n. Up to now we have discussed in this form, and controllability matrix is QC inverse. Here he has used U. Instead of QC he has used U here. Phi of a is common. Okay, don't get confused about this particular two notations, but make sure about that. In order to calculate the controllability gain matrix using the Ackermann's formula, the basic equation is capital K is equal to 0 0 0 up to the last value should be 1. It has to be multiplied with the inverse of controllability matrix into phi of E. Okay, so these are the necessary and sufficient conditions which has to be involved by the Ackermann's. Okay, so this is the necessary and sufficient conditions has to be resumed for determination of the gain matrix using Ackermann's formula. Okay, so for this today's class we have seen a problem regarding to the determination of the gain matrix using three methods, and after that we have looked into the necessary and sufficient conditions regarding to the Ackermann's formula. Okay, So method 2 and method 3 are very useful. Why? Because less number of calculations are going to be happen. In the university examinations, you will sure and definitely get one problem regarding to the calculation of the state feedback gain matrix. State feedback gain matrix. You can use any kind of method for determination of this particular matrix, capital K. Okay. The most important method is the third method, that is Ackermann's formula method. Ackermann's formula method. Okay. So in the next class, we will discuss so many problems based upon this particular determination of the state feedback gain matrix. State feedback gain matrix. Okay. So with this, I am going to wind up the class for today. So thank you everyone. Please try to attend the online classes regularly without any disturbance. Okay. So thank you everyone. Have a nice day.